Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Uh, it's been a little while since I've gone with some Michigan basketball content, but it is time to start a new series. We're going to be breaking down all five position groups, the future of all five position groups for next year and beyond. And that's going to be starting with the number one most important position, in my opinion, on the basketball court, the point guard. And for Michigan, this is probably one of, if not the biggest question marks heading into the 2021-22 basketball season. Mike Smith, great transfer from Columbia, played a fantastic season of basketball. He has declared for the draft. He is gone. Not surprising at all, but he leaves a gaping hole for Michigan basketball to replace. And Michigan basketball's point guard position has been stellar for the past. Trey Burke, going through Derek Walton, Xavier Simpson, and getting to Mike Smith. These guys will have some big shoes to fill, and I'm going to start with Zeb Jackson. Zeb Jackson, as you can see here, stats leave a little to be desired, more like a lot to be desired, but he's a local kid. He actually was raised in Ohio, Toledo, Ohio, was a great all-around player down there, and transferred to Montverde Academy in Florida, where he obviously played on a higher profile team that won the national championship. He was a top 80 recruit, and he's 6'5" and 180. So he brings a different aspect to the point guard position that hasn't been seen at Michigan in a long time. He brings a lot of height, a lot of length, and a decent bit of athleticism, with guys like Mike Smith and Xavier Simpson simply didn't have. So there is a lot of potential for Zeb. Obviously, the first year of his career at Michigan didn't go how he would have probably played it out in his head. Didn't get many minutes. Didn't do much with those minutes. His most minutes, I think, was against Minnesota, or at least in the Big Ten season was against Minnesota. In a game, Michigan ended up losing by 18 points. He didn't play well in that game. He had a back-breaking turnover and was a negative on offense and defense. And that kind of was how his season went. He ended up having a decent game against Texas Southern. In the tournament, he had 2 threes in the first half. That was kind of a bright spot to end his year. But right now, he's a combo guard, but he's a point guard. And he ran the offense. He ran the show down in Montverde for a great team. He is capable. He needs to work on his ball handling slightly, decision making a little bit. But I see the promise in Zeb Jackson at the point guard position, especially after playing under Mike Smith, who has to be a great leader, great teacher, great mentor. And Juwan Howard will bring the best out of Zeb Jackson. I firmly believe that to be true. Now I'm going to go down to another man who potentially could have the ball next season. Eli Brooks. Big news. Michigan got him back. Eli declared yesterday that he would return to Michigan for his 5th season, taking advantage of that opportunity granted by the NCAA because of this strangeness of COVID. And Eli Brooks, I'd bet this guy handles the rock for at least 10 minutes a game next season, if not more. He's clearly capable. He's an undersized 2, so he fits the point guard mold at 6'1", 185, and has good ball control, good instincts. He lacks some of that X factor, that hard to define nature of a true point guard. Just not quite as into the game as some of the best point guards are, but he is still quite a heady player and quite a capable point guard, if not a really good number one to have on your team. But he will help for sure next season, especially being a veteran. I wouldn't be shocked if he'll start at the 2 most likely, but he will get significant chunks of point guard action for next season. Now, the third candidate I have is not currently on this roster, Frankie Collins. Let's go to Frankie Collins here. College or high school kid right now, top 60 recruit. He's in Nevada. He went to Clark High School in Las Vegas and transferred to Coronado, a higher profile school, still in Nevada though. Frankie Collins fits more of the Michigan point guard build. Let's just click on his profile here because that's the easiest thing to do. But yeah, he is a top 50 recruit on ESPN, top 60 recruit elsewhere. and just a very good point guard. He's 42 on ESPN, 59, 247, 73 on Rivals, which is all very good to see. I've reviewed some of his film. This stuff, it doesn't really matter that much. What you need to know about Frankie Collins is that he is a bulldog athletic point guard in the mold of Xavier Simpson, in the mold of Trey Burke. Undersized, but definitely not under-talented. He is quite a player. Just with the basketball in his hands, he's kind of a wizard. He has great ball handling, really spectacular ball handling, flashy passing, real athleticism, like going up and yamming on someone. Like, he is an athlete, more so than any point guard Michigan's had since Trey Burke. And he's an exciting young player. The one thing you got to look out for, though, with Frankie, not the best shooter. It's not like he's a bad shooter, but he is not a comfortable shooter in transition. He's more of a catch and shoot player. So he is probably the third. Chi-Town Sports says, just texted you, thumbnail is nice. Thank you, Chi-Town. I got to go actually right now. But yes, the three contenders for this point guard position next year: Eli Brooks, Frankie Collins, and of course, Zeb Jackson, who I expect, if I had to predict right now, starting point guard for 2022 or 2021, 2022, I would go Zeb Jackson, solely because he had a year under Mike Smith. He had some playing experience, if not a ton. And Eli Brooks will most likely be the number 2, the shooting guard, for next season, which is his preferred position. So Frankie Collins, though, has the real potential to become, I'd say, a Derek Walton type player for Michigan, play decent minutes as a freshman, and build off of every passing year until you become an all Big Ten type player, which I have hopes for Frankie becoming. I will mention Kobe Bufkin. Coming! Kobe Bufkin is more of a shooting guard. So thank you guys for watching. I got to go right now. See ya.